Okay, in day two, I've got a couple lights set up here, and found an old Photogenic power pack that came with this set. These are all old Olan mill stuff. You guys may remember it if you shot back in the day. This is the Model AA Flashmaster, and it's a pretty nice little unit. We're going to see if it works. It hasn't been fired up for 7 years, so yeah, you'll see it when I do. So here we go. I'm going to turn the camera on first. Go ahead and get this little monitor on here just for fun. I've got some cables here that actually, and again, I never really set these up. When I was a photographer, I just sort of showed up and the camera room was there. When I was in road division, I had a Nord, so that was a completely different thing, and that was also 40 years ago, so I don't remember a lot about setting that one up either. But what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to test the power supply and see if it works. So it's got this nice big long cord on it, and I'm going to plug it in on this power strip over here on the wall. Okay. Step one. This even came with, I just about stepped on them, but it came with modeling lamps, which go inside of here and inside of here. I'll show you this in a sec. We'll do a more detailed look at the flashes. But let's see if it works. And honestly, I haven't tried this at all, so I have no idea what's going to happen. We've got, on this one, it looks like one was on, let's see, so let's turn it on first, see if we get a power light. Oh, that's a good sign. Modeling lights, good deal. All right, so that's one end of it. Okay, we'll see what happens when we see if we can find the cables for the triggers for these, and we'll go from there. Okay, after doing a little digging in the box here, I found there's a whole bunch of stuff in here, all kinds of cool things. Some looks like Cat 5 or phone cable to 1/4-inch plug adapter. Not exactly sure what that's for. Maybe something else I'll find along the way. But I found a couple of these. These are plug-in. Looks like they plug into the Photogenic trigger and convert it to, you can have two of these plugged into the camera. I'm not sure why there's two, but anyway, we'll find out. So I'm going to try plugging one of these in. Looks like it goes like so. It's kind of dangerous just flopping around in there. Anyway, whatever. Alright, so see that? That should give us some a place to plug into anyway. And I'll hold on to this one just for now. Maybe if you had two different cameras, maybe you could use the same power pack. I'm not sure why there's two of them here. But I'm plug it in. I felt like that clicked. There's a place in the front of the camera that says strobe, and I'm going to plug that into there. This looks like this one might not be. Cable doesn't feel good. Let's see if anything else works on here. It doesn't seem like it wants to lock into that strobe. So I guess this one's as good as any. Alright, we'll leave it there for a second, just see what happens. Alright. Doesn't feel like it's snapped in there good. Did see the flash go off when I see if it flashes when I. Hey, I believe that worked. Did I see the flash? Let's see. Ooh, boy, okay. Didn't shield that one enough. Looks like we have a fully functional Olan Mills studio right here. All I need is a backlight, and that can be plugged in to these. This has enough for 4 lights, so you could do a backlight, a hair light if you wanted to. And looks like we're in business. All we need to do now is to figure out the film situation, and hopefully we can either find the film that came with it. They don't make anymore. This is a Portra 160, and I think Kodak, I may be wrong, but I think Kodak just went to 400 on it, which is different ISO, but same film, and not super important. We could probably even run black and white through here if we wanted to. We just have to make sure the settings are set right. Don't have a slate, so I'd have to just use a regular old grade card. That's okay. Yeah, so looks like we got to show us the system here. Take one more picture, and we're gone. Let me do a little more detailed stuff on the actual flash system. For those of you who haven't seen this, if you're an Olan Mills photographer, you know this thing better than I do, but it's been a long time. This is a Photogenic. I got it upside down for you, but let's try it this way. There you go. But this is a Photogenic power supply, and looks like for the Olan Mills camera it uses either a Cat 5 or it looks like a Cat 5 to me. I can confirm that later, but I'll put it up on the screen. It has this adapter that adapts the two Cat 5 cables to the trigger, basically input for it. So it has the 4 prongs on it. So you've got you got enough inputs for 4 lights. You could have a main fill, hair light, and backlight. You have a fuse for the modeling lamps. That you have these things. We have a few of these spares, but I can't think of what these are called. I figured it out, and yeah, we got the charge indicator. So when you turn these on, you can turn on the modeling lamps, turn on the whole unit, and they come on with the modeling lamps. And you turn your modeling lamps off if you want to. That's just modeling lamps. Don't do anything for your exposure. They're just there to help you kind of see what the light's doing and kind of see where the shadows are falling and that kind of thing. So yeah. So anyway, we've got these plugged in. I don't see a remote, like a manual trigger on this. Some of these power packs have that. I mean, not these power packs, but power packs I've used. So I don't see that on here, but you can fire it with the camera. It seems to be working really well. When I got this stuff, there was all kinds of things that I got with it, which is kind of cool. Bunch of cables. This is the remote for the camera. Put that up there so I don't confuse anything. Got a few extra cables. These are the stand cables, I believe, for the camera itself. These are power pack cables. I have another one of these power packs here, so some more cables for that. We've got another Cat 5 cable for firing off the triggers, another Cat 5 cable, and then another Cat 5 cable. We got plenty of Cat 5 cables, and here's another Cat 5 cable. So then there's these cables here, which I'm going to have to find out more information about these, but what these were for. But they got a 1/4-inch plug, like a guitar plug on one end, and a Cat 5 on the other. So, and I'm assuming these are Cat 5 because they're probably of the, I guess I could just read the side here and see what it says here. Yep, Cat 5e. So it's a Cat 5e cable. Not sure if you can see that or not, but yeah. Okay, so anyway, Datamax cable. Okay, so there's a few little fuses strapped to the top of this here. So that was pretty handy. Down here in the box, I've got a few spare trigger these Cat 5 to sync cord converters, whatever you want to call them. A couple of those. One of those looks like a candle, actually. So I'm not sure that is. And another one of those. Another one of those. Another one of these. So I'm guessing that these cables must have connected to a different power supply, and you had the option of either plugging this into the camera or into the power supply and converting it to Cat 5, or you went straight out of the sync cable and converted it for the Photogenic. So maybe a different, I got a couple extra power supplies, so they may go with that. So I don't know. Then in the bottom, and this is really cool, I've got like all kinds of strobes. These are bubble wrap. These things right here. These are venerable light stands. If you've worked at Olan Mills in the last 40 years, you've probably seen these things. I don't know a whole lot about the history of who built them, whether we built these or they were built by somebody else, but maybe I can find out about that. It has a release lock here. The ones I used to use had these big metal, kind of like, I've got some more stuff over here, kind of like this, only bigger, much bigger, with this kind of reflector. And then on top of that, you clamped translucent paper, or like I think they called them filters. I don't remember, but they get clamped onto the outside to diffuse the light, so when the flash goes, it's not so harsh. This one came with a couple of umbrellas, so maybe there's some umbrellas around here that would work for this if you really wanted to use it. So, but you have your modeling set up here. You have your flood. You can flood it, or you can make it modeling more like what the light's going to do when it hits the subject. So, but yeah, pretty cool stuff. So I got all kinds of good stuff here. I got some extra cables. This is for an umbrella stand, I would assume. You put your umbrella in this part here and mount this to a stand or something. So anyway, that's pretty neat. All kinds of good adapters and such. And even got a take-up reel or two, a little extra one. I think there's one in each camera already, but so I got an extra one of these. So that's neat. So yeah, we're going to try to get these things fired up and actually do some, do some real photography with them and see what that looks like. So it's been a while. So thanks for watching. We'll keep you posted.